Welcome back everyone. I went ahead and bought the iPhone 12s, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware. And I wanted to hit on the top 5 reasons why you should actually go pick up the iPhone 12s. Now I'm going to specifically focus on the iPhone 12, not the 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max, or 12 mini. I'll hit on those in separate videos. And it's very interesting because the iPhone 12 and just all the iPhones are so interesting individually. And they actually made some decent differences between all iPhones. But the very first thing that I saw with my iPhone 12, even when I compared it to the 12 Pro and eventually with the 12 Pro and 12 mini, is that the performances are pretty much exactly the same thing on all the devices across the board. I really didn't see one phone becoming the way better performing one over the other one. Now in this case, against the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro, I saw that app opening speeds, and all that other stuff is pretty much identical. And I think I even saw in some cases that the RAM management may have actually been better on the iPhone 12 than on the iPhone 12 Pro, even though the iPhone 12 Pro has 2 extra gig of RAMs. That doesn't really make any sense to me at all when I first tested it, but that's what I saw. Maybe it's a software thing, but it would have also affected the iPhone 12, I feel like. So when it comes down to the performance of this thing, it's an extremely fast phone. And if you're trying to get the fastest iPhone, obviously I guess the 12 Pro is faster, but it's really not that big of a difference. It's almost identical. And from day-to-day use, you're definitely going to be getting a really fast phone from the iPhone 12, which is a really cool thing. And it makes me happy that you won't really have to go and upgrade to an iPhone 12 Pro if you want the best performance, since they both have the same chipsets inside of them. The only main difference is really just the, amount of RAM. And if you're not, multitasking out of a bunch of games, the iPhone 12 is going to be extremely good for you. Now, the second thing that I saw with the iPhone 12 was that it pretty much has better battery life against that I tested on iOS 14 or any other phones that were on iOS 12, like the iPhone 6 Plus, obviously. But from the previous generation, the iPhone 12 was actually giving me better battery life from my battery test that I did than all the other iPhones that I tested, which is really interesting, including the iPhone 11, 11 Pro. Besides the iPhone 11 Pro Max, it beat the XS Max too, which was really interesting. So definitely when it came down to the battery life of this thing, it beat all those other iPhones, but it also beat the iPhone 12 Pro, which was very weird because that thing has a pretty much the almost 100% identical thing as the iPhone 12. It's the same size screen, same resolution, same size battery. So it's very weird that the iPhone 12 was actually able to outlast my iPhone 12 Pro. And that didn't make any sense to me either. But again, it's just one of those things that just is so weird about this phone. So you're definitely going to be getting better battery life from my tests than the iPhone 12 Pro or really any other iPhone besides the 11 Pro Max. Now, the other reason why I love this phone and why I would highly recommend everyone to pick it up right now if you want to go for the iPhone 12 would 100% be the super long software support. Now, I've said this before with other phones too that come out the same year. Pretty much, this is one of the best iPhones you can buy right now. It's going to, last you for many, many more years. And if you want a phone that you can, use for a couple of years and just move on, this is a phone for you. I've said this before and I'll say it again because it's just so relevant. You can get this phone today, this year, next year, and you'll probably end up upgrading it or breaking it before you even go and, stop getting software support on this thing. You look at a phone like the iPhone 6s, that thing, and even the iPhone 5s and iPhone 6, let's just look at the 5s. I saw nobody with an iPhone 5s in my day-to-day life. And if I saw somebody, it would just really stand out. And I never saw anybody with an iPhone 5s that I saw. But that thing was still getting supported even up until this year. So just think about that. I've seen time and time again people say, oh, but it's only a little bit longer software support than Android or whatever. Trust me, these phones last for a very long time in the software department. And what's cool is that pretty much there were times where the iPhone 5s and iPhone 6 would get updates sometimes the same time that the iPhone 12 and iPhone 11 and all those phones would get updates too. So I'm not trying to say that the iPhone 12 is going to be the exact same situation, but there's going to be a lot of similarities between these for sure. So definitely when it comes down to the software department, the iPhone 12 is an extremely good winner here. Now, the other thing that I saw that I really love about the iPhone 12 is the camera system on it. It's a really good camera on it and it's very, very stable and it's just, consistent. It's not like sometimes it's going to be great, sometimes it's going to be bad. You can go in a situation and already get an idea of how your camera is going to hold up. I've been in situations with, some older iPhones, like an iPhone 6, and I could be in a super good lighting condition, but it would just be so grainy and so much noise in a photo. And I can be in a lower light conditions sometimes and it could be like pretty decent. So it really didn't make any sense to me at all. But on iPhones, like with these newer ones, they really did a good job in this camera setup. And I've done a couple of different camera comparisons. I have yet to upload them, I think. Maybe today I'll upload one. And you'll be able to see that the iPhone 12, I think, did an overall better job than a lot of the older iPhones when it comes down to like the iPhone 10 and iPhone 8 Plus and those ones. But there were some noticeable differences from the iPhone 12 and maybe even the iPhone 11 that if you watch that other video I uploaded, you may be able to see it there, which is very, very interesting. So definitely when it comes down to that, that was very, very interesting for me. And the last thing I want to hit on would definitely be the pricing structure. The iPhone 12 is a cheaper iPhone than an iPhone 12 Pro. Even though it's not by much in my standard, it's still a pretty decent difference. And if you're on a budget, this is a budget tier iPhone that you can pick up, which actually isn't a crazy bad priced phone. Now, I'd still probably recommend getting an iPhone 12 Pro or something, but this is honestly not a bad idea either. So those are just 5 different reasons as to why I would recommend people to buy the iPhone 12. I think it's a great phone. It's one of the best iPhones you can pick up, and it's truly a really decent value in 2020. Obviously, it just came out. So that really pretty much covers it up. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count. So it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my other channels. More importantly than everything else, love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.